The performance report by the Order Paper, Nigeria's parliamentary monitoring organization, has revealed that 15 senators and 149 members of the House of Representatives did not sponsor any bills in the first year of the 10th National Assembly. I'll just pause there. I want your reaction, sir.
Well, it's obvious. That's not a surprise news. It's unfortunate that members of their various legislative constituencies do not understand their rights. They think it begins and ends the day they go to cast their vote, when actually it's after casting their vote that places greater responsibility on them, the electorates. So, like I submitted in my earlier expressions,
exactly,
the constitutional need to return and be seen in what we call your constituency office,
yes,
interacting and engaging, to really prove that you draw, the power is drawn from the people. You know, it is from that engagement you are better placed to sponsor the bills that actually captures their agenda. But because you don't do that,
exactly,
so how can you give what you don't have? You're a senator, you spend more time in hotels in Abuja, whereas you don't know that it is time to step down environmental laws, that where you come from has oil wells. The oil companies, the idea that somebody called Minister of Environment is no longer working. In 1999 in Norway, the lawmakers assembly had debates and realized that the law can no longer reside with the federal level. They need to step it down to the extent where a local government chairman can assert authority against a company that has created environmental degradation and plundering. So here, before you wait for federal agencies, evidence must have been destroyed. Either you target sabotage, you know, and the community is left to their fate. So the next thing you hear, we no go gree, or we no go gree, they deploy occupational force to shoot the people back to their houses. So now you've passed Petroleum IPIA Act. You went to settle for the infamous 2%. And right now, nobody knows the quantity of oil you drew from the innocent community. So how do you even work out the 2%?
Exactly.
Is it not something you, as the lawmaker, needs to come and protect them? The law provides that they should have a trust, a developmental trust. Do you know, Ray, since what year now, 2018, there is no report anywhere that any of these oil and gas companies now have a developmental trust. Like I argued, I made submissions, my memorandum got to the National Assembly.
Okay.
And part of the argument was that in Shetland Island Council, the North Sea Aberdeen, you don't put all the developments in one name. For example, you just say development trust. That same body does education, does health, does housing. No. They made it easier so that to even accommodate more people, so nobody feels, I need a job, but chairman say no space. No. You can have development trust on environment. You gather a team of young men and women. Development trust on education. Development trust on this. Now it will require the lawmaker to understand, and if it was not captured as the act was couched, you go back and raise a debate to say, this is what I got from people. I realize that this is the best way they can effectively participate to their benefit, and you sponsor it. Now, like the patriots are calling for a referendum.
Yes.
We are a democracy without referendum. That's an aberration. Plebiscite. That's one of the key characteristics of a democratic society.
Are we going to have a referendum?
But that is part of your job as my senator. It is long overdue. That is like a bedrock. It goes a long way to resolve all manner of conflicts you can think of within the Nigerian political economy. That for once, the people should have a right, rather than taking to arms and resort to self-help.
The National Convention during Goodluck Jonathan's time, what is it implemented?
Fundamentally, what is missing, that's why Emeka Yanko and his team, the Pedro, used the word, say, send an executive bill and let us have a constituent assembly. That thing people find difficult to interpret, called Sovereign National Conference. Exactly. The phrase sovereign is what gives it a legal bite. So that whatever that is debated and the resolutions reached can be implemented. Okay. But when you leave at it, just mere social gathering and talk, it becomes difficult. So to correct that, that's another expression the patriots have used. That let's have a constituent assembly, but it will not have a legal bite. When the president sends and secretary, you can see the haste in which he sent bringing back the old national anthem. But that day you saw his very lame response. He said he's trying to work on economic reform. How can he work on economic reform when the country is stand on a tripod, like Zekome pointed out the other day? Exactly. And anything stand on a tripod, 3 legs, cannot succeed, cannot stand properly. So it's urgent that is what these lawmakers ought to be doing. If they've been doing that, we would have reduce the socioeconomic strife, this depression, perhaps up to 70%. But they're not doing the job. And that's essentially why they are sent there. To go and review obnoxious federal laws that has incapacitated the component states and even, in turn, the local governments within the states. What are some of those federal laws that no longer favor? Look at, for example, if I want to embark on a fishing trawling job, I will have to wait for the Minister of Agriculture to give me a license. That's anti-people. That's anti-economic. As simple as that kind of license, I should be able to, in a federal system, I should be able to obtain it from the state. These are the kind of affairs that the component state should be able to decide for itself. And yes, my senator, if you don't understand it, return home. Let me engage you and tell you that because you don't understand it. So I'm saying that, look, Mr. Senator, I can't invest in trawler because the bottleneck, the logistics of him going to Abuja, spend hotel for days before the minister tells him, it's too difficult for me. So why you're representing me is that, look, we have realized that law is not fair. We want to invest. We are fishermen. We want to go. Right now, we can no longer fish by the riverside. Pollution has sent out all the fish. That was it. Go around Creek Road. They can't afford fish. Therefore, go and sponsor this bill and change this federal policy that says that it is the Federal Minister of Agriculture that will give me a license. Let me begin to take it from the state or obtain it from the state. So the people must understand that the participation, good governance, dividend of democracy does not begin and end the day you cast your vote. It rather places greater responsibility on you, immediately after you cast your vote, to daily interrogate the manner in which public officers, particularly lawmakers, carry on their conducts, either in private or public, whether it runs contrary to your aspirations and yearnings. The people just feel that it is a birthright. And again, don't forget, it's because these lawmakers in turn feel that because the governors sponsor them, therefore they don't owe the majority of the people that come from their different constituencies any duty, which is an aberration and very unconstitutional, because it violates section 14 sub 2 that talks about sovereignty belongs to the people, from where the constitution derives its power and the government which they represent derives its authority. So if the man you draw the strength from does not have any space to participate, you are even guilty.
Exactly.
We should hold you responsible. You know, it is time to criminalize it. That's why the UK have done so. Now you don't come and somebody sees that he's a Senate president, he gives you allowance. Where did you sit? Your sitting is not limited to the chambers. Your sitting actually starts from the constituencies.
Yes.
So in UK, to check that demon in you, that universal evil, that you think that, okay, let me see how they will pay transport and come to Abuja and talk to me. By the time they think of flight tickets and how rough the road is and how robbers waiting for them, they won't even think of coming. So let me continue there. But if it's now criminalized to say, those senators and honorables who are not sane, engaging the people, having interface and interaction, deliberation and debates on what the people want, you are hereby denied XYZ amount, so and furniture allowance will not be given to you because you've not been seen sitting. Yeah. Then we would have started having a headway. Then the people themselves too will now sit up to say, yes, he deserves this. And probably if he thinks that he will not change his attitude, then they begin to mobilize for his recall, because the Constitution also made a provision for that.
Exactly.
So till the people begin to activate these constitutional provisions, even as deficient as it is, but of course we've come to tolerate it.
Exactly.
These lawmakers will not see a need. Or let's even assume not that, okay, fine, the governor sponsor you. But now that you are representing me, you cannot hold on to that primitive mentality that you owe me nothing.
Exactly.
Otherwise, leave the seat.
Yeah.
Leave the seat. After all, is it proper that you will claim that it is the governor that bought your ticket? You can't say that in public.
Exactly.
You know, so the people must understand that that is part of why we are suffering. They need to take individual collective responsibility. We need to be more organized. There is no harm in trying. Nobody should discourage you that, oh, it is hard, it's a lie, let us try first. Okay. And for faith-based organizations, up to yesterday I made that appeal. They appear to command the crowd from where these people even represent. Let us activate that avenue, because it appears that we that are civil rights activists or whatever, they say, no, we don't have money, so we shouldn't be listening